Hey everybody, like I mentioned in my previous video, this is a really big different topic. So essentially I found out I was pregnant at 3 weeks, 3 days. It was such a faint positive. I couldn't even see it if you took a picture. And so when I was 3 weeks, 4 days, I took like 5 different tests and they all came back positive. There was first response, there were like the cheapy ones I stocked up on, and I was so excited. And originally we were just gonna tell our closest friends, maybe wait to tell our families, but we decided instead to go the weekend that I was at 4 weeks, to just go and tell our families because we were really excited about it and whatever else. And they gave us a lot of good advice and a lot of good help. And so on when I was 4 weeks and 3 days, I decided to go to a pregnancy center just so I could get proof of pregnancy. I was trying to figure out everything with the insurance and what I wanted to do. And when I was there, it was just a weird day in general. Normally, I had to eat nonstop no matter what, but that morning I had maybe 2 granola bars, and I even didn't go take a lunch at all. I just stayed working so I could get off early to go to the center. So it was really strange, but I was just telling myself, oh, it's nothing, it's fine. And then I go to the center, and they make you go pee in the cup, whatever else, and I'm waiting there for like 30 minutes and I hadn't heard anything, and it was really starting to freak me out, and I was like, oh my god, what if it's negative? But it can't be negative, I just took all these pregnancy tests. I've been feeling so pregnant the past few days. And so I'm waiting, and finally this lady comes up and she's like, hey, can I talk to you for a few minutes? And we go in this room. She asked me a bunch of questions. She said I'm in a really good spot because I'm married and I have everything together. The dad wants to be involved and whatever else. It's essentially what she has to go through, though, for her job, to give everybody their options. Even though I was just there for the proof of pregnancy. So I'm being really optimistic and happy. And then the nurse walks in and she's like, well, it was negative. And I was shocked. The lady I was talking to was shocked, and she was like, yeah, she was telling me outside that you had taken a bunch of tests and they were positive, and we use the same type of tests, so I'm not sure what's really going on. And I'm like, yeah, that's really weird, because not only did I take 5 tests, for the next few days, I took a test every morning, just to be sure that I was pregnant. And so she was like, yeah, well, I can give you, there's this information for a clinic you can go to, and they can give you a blood test. We can't do that here, but that would be a definite yes or no answer. But right now, I don't have insurance. My insurance doesn't start until February 1st. And so I was like, well, crap. So this is going to cost me over $100 at this clinic. So I'm being calm in the car. I'm like, there are plenty of false negatives. Happens all the time, right? And I knew I still had a few of my cheapy tests at home, but still, I started to freak out more and more when I was driving home. So I stopped at Kroger and I bought the Clear Blue week estimator test, and I ran home, and I got the week estimator, I guess I should say, because if it was positive, I was curious the number of weeks. I'm pretty sure I know what I am, but just to check. And so I run home and I take my cheap test, negative. Take the Clear Blue test, negative. I started to have a meltdown. I was freaking out. You never know how much you want something until you realize that it's about to, it's gone, it's going away. So I know, just through the internet and just more, I guess, common sense, I knew something was wrong. I knew I was probably losing the baby, and I was really freaked out, and it was hard. I had full meltdown, and my husband came home and I told him about it, but I hadn't been bleeding, I knew I had felt weird, I'd felt less pregnant that day, but I hadn't been bleeding. So I tried to calm myself down and tell myself, well, there's still hope. you know, maybe my levels are just too low, because my mom told me that she couldn't get a positive on a test like until a few months in with me. So I was like, well, maybe that's just what it is. Like, maybe it'll be fine. And so my body naturally woke itself up at 6:30 because that's normally when I get up to go to work. And I went to the bathroom and I took another cheapy test, and it was negative. And then when I looked into the toilet, there was blood, and there was blood on my pad. And yeah, so I'm miscarrying this child, and it's really hard. It hurts so much, and today was my first day of my last semester of school, and so I couldn't even finish the day. I only went to one class, and I had to come home. I had to get a substitute for my internship, and I've just been home all day. I'm feeling better now that I'm just at home, and it's really hard, and it's been really hard on my husband too. And I understand my husband's sadness, but my sadness is a little different because I felt, like I felt the baby. And I know people say you can't feel things that early, but I had symptoms from almost immediately after. And so it's been really hard, and I haven't even been wanting to think about trying again. I know I can't try again for a few weeks, and I called my doctor, and they just said, let us know if there's anything that we can do for you. But yeah, so I'll probably be miscarrying for a week or two, and they recommend not trying again for 8 weeks, but I know you can do it sooner. But yeah, so that's currently where I am. I'm still gonna try and keep updating this channel. It's a really sad ending to my story, especially since we just told our parents. But to be honest, I'm so happy we did that. I'm so happy I have that support behind me, because if it was just me and my husband, oh my god, it would be really bad. There's a few people who I'm like, probably shouldn't have told them so early. But yeah, so that's currently where I am right now, and if anybody else is going through this, or if anybody else experiences the same thing, I mean, it's great just to come here and just kind of have some answers and prepare yourself. I am really grateful that I was kind of forewarned, by going to that pregnancy center, that it was coming the next day, because if I would have woken up and saw blood and then had to go to school, oh no, that would have been really bad, because I've been crying like nonstop, and I only just now feel strong enough to even make this video. But yeah, we're feeling optimistic for the future, and if anybody is worried about miscarriage, because it is a really high chance within the first 12 weeks, I would say take a test every morning. You can buy those cheapy tests on Amazon where it's like $6 for a 25 pack. And just take a test every morning, and if you see the test line starting to fade, or you see yourself get a negative, then at least it's coming, because it was hell, but it helped me get through it, and I just hope this video helps somebody else get through it too.